Okay, dann schauen wir mal, wo uns das hier hinführt. Hoffentlich ein paar gute Kämpfe für ein Level Up. Level 2. Gerade aus solchen Kristallen will ich doch mal erwarten, dass irgendwas Cooles rauskommt. Wieso sind da Äpfel drin, zum Teufel?
It wasn't his fault. They looked so breakable.
And they are very breakable. Frage ist, müssen wir hier hoch? Passt danach aus. Ich glaube, das hier ist ein optionaler Weg. Für das wir natürlich ein Wasserschwert brauchen. Oh.
Who needed bridges anyway?
Ist das blöd. Also doch, Hauptweg. Das war eine doofe Treppe. Das sieht nach Kampfarena aus. Vermeide den Zauberspruch des Zauberers. Nach der Explosion wird er allen beschädigen, die sich in der Umgebung aufhalten. Wenn ihr zu zweit gleichzeitig angreift, ist das nicht cool. Oh, ich habe doch Viereck gedrückt. Mangelhaft. Ja. Mit was? Mit Recht. Ich bin enttäuscht von mir. Gott, die Level-Up-Station war da unten, da habe ich keinen Bock drauf. Naja, wenn das so weitergeht, hier mit dem Wasserextrakt. Ah, okay, ich komme hier nicht rüber. Kann ich mir vielleicht doch ein Schwert machen. Aber ich habe glaube ich 6
He was
gebraucht.
closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his.
Einmal voll heilen, bitte. Bevor hier gepriegelt wird. Ich kann meins immer noch upgraden. Aber ich glaube, ich will wie gesagt wirklich erst das Feuer oder das Wasserschwert haben. Schon wieder mangelhaft. Und schon wieder mit
Bernardo
Recht.
reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, please. I'm enjoying this a little too much. She said, shaken. Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you? Said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer, Lapino nagged Renato about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebels' secret base. Renato didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
Das wäre mir lieber. Das ist zu grausam. Lassen wir das mit dem Rebellenstützpunkt. Zenobia befand sich erneut in Renatos Gewalt. Als nächstes mussten sie zum Rebellenstützpunkt. Aber die Dinge, die die Verhörspezialisten ihr antun würden, vielleicht könnte Renato den Rebellenstützpunkt umgehen und Zenobia selbst verhören. Aber die Dinge, die die Verhörspezialisten ihr antun würden, der Gedanke ließ Renato erschauern. Doch es war nötig, um den Krieg zu gewinnen. Ja, er würde Zenobia zum geheimen Rebellenstützpunkt. Nein, mach ich nicht.
As they pulled away from the Nexus, Renato could see the fear in Zenobia's eyes. I can't take her to those creatures at the base, he whispered to Lapino. Ah, you've gone soft. Soft in the head. We captured her for what she knows. I'll take her to the mountains. Tell all the horrible things the Emperor's done. Yeah, believe me, she'll turn. And he turned the wheel. The hell you will, shouted Lapino, and he grabbed the wheel back from him. The two of them wrestled for control of the ship. It shot off like a mad sparrow. Suddenly, Renato was falling.
Ach du Penner.
When he came to, Zenobia was standing over him. Why didn't you take me to the base to be interrogated? She demanded. Do you know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you. But strangely, she didn't. As Renato set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him, keeping just out of sight of the ravens.
Ja, ich kann leider immer noch nichts verbessern.
Renato wondered idly if people who had built these poles had really, really long tentacles.
Boah, echt, wegen 3 so Erz. Ihr Giezige.
So, who's your next of kin? Just wondering.
Gab es noch einen anderen Weg? Das scheint mir nicht der einzig wahre zu sein. Ne, ich komme nicht zurück. Wieso habe ich denn so wenig Energie? Doch jetzt gerade gar keine kassiert.
There had to be something useful in these things, didn't there?
Ja, auf 20 Gesundheit finde ich sehr nutzvoll, nützlich. Helfen mir sehr. Okay, da komme ich mit meinem Heldenschwert durch.
Ice walls only let you through if they knew you were cool.
Ah, das sieht mir dann doch nach dem normalen Weg aus, wenn ich das mit dem Heldenschwert öffne. Ui, ist das Spiel gut hängen geblieben, ey. Ich meine, ich kann die
Imagine if you
Dinger...
built a house on one of these things. Oh, that would be amazing. It would be like having a boat.
Ah, ich kann die Dinger nur einmal benutzen.
As Renato stopped to sniff the wind, Zenobia came up, still mad. Did you really think you'd just talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure, that was exactly my plan. Then why aren't you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scobel ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way.
Ah, jetzt bin ich aber enttäuscht. Ah, ich will zurück, Mano. Ah, ich verlasse mich nie wieder auf meinen Instinkt. Scheiß Spiel. Ach, guck mal, wie viel Level hier noch ist.
Renato's paws were getting numb. Calaveras really didn't want company, did he? Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secrets, he was regretting his suspicion.
Ja, die habe ich jetzt fast gar nicht gesehen, zum Zerkloppen.
Sure enough, the Farfarer had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lupino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu School. Look, look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. We have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless. Run away with me, said Renato, and he realized he meant it. Just like that, she demanded. I will, if you will. So she kissed him. And it was the best kiss he'd ever had. They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer. Renato felt light-hearted, like the winds that were playing the rigging like a balalaika. But Lupino, I need to get back to Lupino, he said, suddenly realizing he could have been captured. A prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell, didn't he? Into the abyss. She looked away, wouldn't answer. But
Oh,
then a
Latino.
bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds.
Und wir fallen schon wieder runter. Dadurch, dass wir sie haben, haben wir
Renato
Latino
picked
verloren.
himself off the deck. They were alive. We have to get to my private ship, she said. Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, that he had no idea what he was getting into. But he had no choice, did he? He was following his heart. That's what it means to be a hero. You had to follow your heart.
Folge deinem Herzen und deine Träume werden wahr.
Haven't you always wanted to do that?
Zwei Level hier aufholen. Jetzt bin ich mal gespannt, wie das mit dem Schlagen und den Kombos aussieht. Ordentlichen Batzen Erz. Schön.
The portal was heavily guarded. It must go someplace they really didn't want it to go.
Oh nein. Wir sind gefallen. You have died. Schwarz und Checkpoint. Ach, das hat gezählt, okay. Ich brauche auf jeden Fall mehr Leben. Und das mit dem Zeitanhalten und die nächste Aktion planen ist auf jeden Fall auch eine coole Sache. Die werde ich mir als nächstes vornehmen.
He was practically sure he'd find something useful in one of these things.
Meistens findet man doch auch irgendwas Nutzvolles. Nützliches. Gesundheit. Okay, das war's aber auch schon.
He felt like Tarzan.
schade, da komme ich nicht durch. Also es ist ja okay, wenn zwei gleichzeitig versuchen dich anzugreifen, aber bei mehr wird es dann auch schon richtig ekelhaft.
The platform used a hybrid propulsion system fueled by anti-gravity and wishful thinking.
Mir geht die Energie aus, aber ganz gewaltig. Hier ist nicht zum Kaputthauen. Scheiße. Hoppala. Hoppala, hoppala.
They paused to catch their breath. It was strange to be so close to her. What are you thinking? He asked. I'm trying very hard not to think. Me too, he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship. It looked fast. They would leave all this behind.
Oh Gott sei Dank, das hat Energie gegeben. Nix Fresh Meat. Level up. Raben mit Schilden. Schildträger blocken deine Angriffe. Greif und wirf einen weiteren Schildträger auf ihn und er verliert sein Schild. Jetzt, wenn man einmal getroffen wird, ist das Ganze schon mangelhaft.
As they reached her ship, Renato suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
I was going to lead the Empire to our secret base, said Lapino. But no, you had to screw up my plan because you still got a thing for her.
Renato stared at Zenobia. The kiss. Was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm. Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit. But now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
Neue Story abgeschlossen. Geschichte Nummer 5. Denk nicht darüber nach. Ein Held, der immer seinem Herzen folgt. Belohnung plus 5 Fire Essence. Neue Wahrheit enthüllt. Lapino ist ein Verräter. Belohnung. Stufe 2 Fähigkeiten freigeschaltet. Neuer Standort freigeschaltet. Tempel verlassen.
He'd made bad choices.
Finde die 3 verbliebenen
Now,
Wahrheiten.
when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning.
Oh, das ist cool. Dass wir immer
The
wieder von
clouds
vorne anfangen,
parted
aber immer
over the
mehr
Isles
wissen.
of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert.
Ah,
The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
jetzt haben wir jetzt sogar 3 Geschichten. Ein mysteriöser Tempel hatte sich aus der Wüste erhoben. Der Imperator sandte seine Raben aus, um den Iblisstein zu finden. Das uralte Artefakt barg vielleicht die Macht, um das Imperium zur Strecke zu bringen. Ja, vielleicht machen wir diesmal dann doch das Schwert.
Every
echt cool.
child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Reynardo could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Das ist echt gut. Das gefällt
As he
mir.
set foot on the island, Reynardo couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Reynardo felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Reynardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Also, nur Richtung Sky Ripper gehen. Das ist jetzt unser Ziel in dem Fall. Für diese Story. So eine Werkbank wäre mal cool, dann könnte ich das Feuerschwert schmieden.
Sorry, mustache, thought Reynardo.
Ah, wenn man vom Teufel spricht. Halten, R2. Magische Schwerter aktivieren. Schwerter verbrauchen Energie, wenn sie aktiviert sind. Schwerter wechseln. Und ich könnte das auf Stufe 2 bringen. Was kostet das Wasserschwert? Ja, da haben wir noch bei weitem nicht genug. Genauso wie für dieses Dunkelheitsschwert.
His trusty old sword was always a little better when he sharpened it.
Schwerte sind auf höchster Stufe. Wenn ich R2 halte, heile ich mich. Ah, scheiße.
Rosebud, he said to no one in particular as he died.
Rosebud.
The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the lost gods, thousands of thousands had died. But Reynardo had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
Aha. Aha. Ui, das ist ja... Ich glaube, ich will aber erst die Zeit.
That could come in handy in a pinch.
Haben wir das schon mal erreicht. Das ist doch etwas. Ich denke mal, ich kriege auch einen Checkpoint, wenn ich hier dieses Ding öffne. Wonderful. Jetzt bin ich mal gespannt, wie viel wir hier rausziehen können aus dem Spiel.